Hello and welcome. I'm Geraldine Wilkins and I'm excited to share with you my studio. This is a studio tour and I'm going to show you all the things that I use to go live. Now I'm also going to show you the before and after. Now, like many people, I had to shift and pivot and start live streaming. And I had to find a place in my home to live stream, to set up a permanent location so that when it was time to go live, I could go live. So I'm going to show you the things that I've done in this very, very small space so that I could go live. And hopefully it'll be some inspiration for you. So I'm going to show you some before pictures before I had all this studio lights and tables and stuff in, and it is a little cramped even for one person, but I'm making it work. It's about my ability to go live, to share and have a quilting conversation. So I assume that there's some ladies who are watching me that are also instructors. They teach, they are doing Zoom classes, live classes, virtual classes through Zoom and other ways. So I want to share some of the things that I use to help me do that. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you the before picture. This is my tight studio. This is one room in my house. Here it is. Okay. So this is a photo of my quilting studio. This is before I added all the videos, live streaming, tech. You can see it's already full. I have a sewing machine, a long arm sit down over here. I have my cutting table right here. And then just on the other side, you see I have 3 machines. I have a serger, then I have my Janome machine, and then a Juki right below me. So I had to make a choice. I had to take out the Juki that you see down here so that I could bring in a table to set up for my live streaming. So I still have the table there that you see with the Juki sewing machine, but I brought in another table that I put on top, and it's diagonally across. You're gonna see. It is a tight squeeze, but I'm making it work. I'm making it work. Now you can see I had very little room to put up light stands and backdrops and things like that. So I had to find creative ways to use this small space for multiple purposes. To quilt, to sew, and to live stream, and to teach. I teach right here from this position on Zoom and on other platforms. And I go live right here on Amazon. So let me show you some of the things that I did to take the lighting off the floor and to create a backdrop. Like you see my quilt hanging behind me. Behind the quilt is my closet. So I rigged up a way to hang my quilts using, and you'll never guess what I use, but it's an amazing, easy way to create a backdrop without using stands. I had to create alternatives, put it that way, that I could hang the things like the lights and the backdrop without bringing in additional stands. I had to mount stuff on the wall. So here's the first thing. They're photography wall mounts. I have 3 of them in my room. This is the one that holds a light that's facing me. It lights the whole room. You can see that it has an extension so you can pull it out, and then you can attach various types of photo equipment to it. But see how close it is to the ceiling. It's pretty high up. It allows me to put up my lights so it's out of the way and I can just turn it off and on when I need it. I don't have to put up a light stand. It's not in the way when I'm sewing. It's up above my head and I can easily walk by without hitting it. It's above, high, and it's coming down here on my face. I use that same arm. This is the second arm is attached to another wall. Then I added the Manfrotto Magic arm. Now you can get it with the arm only, or you can get it with this special attachment where you can see I'm attaching my cell phone. So I can pull out that arm, manipulate it in the way that I want it to be so that I can record video. And it's out of the way. No stand on the floor, on the table, because I'm using the wall mount. This special piece that's holding the cell phone, that's also from Manfrotto. That has a screw on it. That gray part is a screw that you can attach to a cell phone attachment. And it's adjustable. So I can reposition that cell phone, turn it vertically, turn it horizontally with that additional attachment. Now the beauty of using these wall mounts is that you can attach multiple things to it. So here is another way of looking at it. So in the small light that you see in the back, that is the one that's on the furthest wall, and it lights the whole room. Now you see the table. This is before I brought in my live streaming equipment. This is when I was recording flat photography, flat videos. I need to record overhead, that same wall mount that I use for my camera rig over my sewing machine. I can use that same rig, wall mount and rig, over the table to do overhead videos. And I just bring in a light on the side and I use the one on the wall so that it will light what I'm recording. You can see my cell phone there. You can see the light and my laptop. So I tried to find a way that I can do multiple things with minimal changes. But since I had to add another table for live streaming, this is before I started to live stream. I can still do this setup when I need it. But now I have a second option. So I'm going to show you what it looks like today with this new table. This is what it looks like today with a minor adjustment. And I'm going to show you a live camera of all of this. So number 10 in the back, those are my lights. This is the Neewer Set. You get 2 lights. You get 2 stands, which I'm not using. Remember, I'm using the wall mounts. And they're bi-color lights. They go from cool to warm. And you can adjust the intensity of the light. I love it. It came with the soft boxes. And it came with this, each one comes in this this carry bag. This is the bag that the light comes in. I'll show you in the overhead camera. Let's take a look. So this is the Neewer light kit. It comes in this. Let's see if this will be working better. And you get a bi-color light with instructions. And it swivels. It has this arm that you can use to attach, so it was easy to attach to my wall mount. And the other thing that was important to me is that I didn't want anything on batteries. This is powered through my electricity. No batteries. So all I have to do, I have the AC adapter. It came with it. It also has a soft screen if I want to soften the light, if I'm not using the light box, but I didn't need it since I'm using the light box. It also comes with barn doors. fit. In this scenario, I'm using the soft boxes. But it all came, both lights came with the barn door, this soft diffuser, and this case to hold it if I need to travel with it. That's number 10 that you see in the shop. These are the Neewer lights. It's the kit. I like getting everything in the kit. Now, you see my microphone. I'm using that microphone right now. And that is a fine microphone. It works well for my situation. I think the audio is pretty decent. I love the adjustable arm. And I prefer to have my microphone out of the camera view. But I'll show you that when I go to a live photo. That's number 4 in the photo. And then number 2 and 2B is my teleprompter and teleprompter monitor. I use a monitor for my teleprompter. Glide Gear teleprompter. I love this one. I got the one for a tablet and a cell phone, and I didn't like it. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna step it up a notch, and I got the 100. It is worth it, and I'm going to show you the build quality when we go live. I love it. That's the teleprompter. And then just below 2B is the monitor that I use, and it's a Lilliput 10-inch monitor. Again, fabulous investment. It allows me to maintain eye contact. I'm looking right now into the teleprompter using that monitor. It does everything you need when you need a teleprompter for good eye contact, especially when you're having a meeting and you need to have a teleprompter for that eye contact. So it allows me to look directly into the lens, to look directly at you. So I love that. So that's 2 and 2B. To the right of that, number 9, that is my big screen monitor. Now, I have to be honest, I was not happy about having to bring in this big monitor in my craft room. But you know what? You do what you got to do. So I got over it. That is attached to my Mac M1 Mini. And this is a ViewSonic monitor. I have this one big monitor where I see my streaming software and all the things that I need to do to control the live stream. And behind that, number 3, just above the microphone, that is a smart TV that I got years ago. It's a Samsung Smart TV. I have it connected. I have 4 monitors. Well, 3 monitors and 1 TV connected to my Mac 1. And I'm going to show you how I have all those connected, and I can use them for live streaming. I love having all these monitors, but you need an extra thing to do that, and I'll show you what that is soon. So let's see, let's go down the line. Number 7 is my keyboard. And it really depends on your own experience or what you prefer, whether you prefer a mouse, whether you like to have a numeric keypad, and then the Apple Magic trackpad. Love it, love it. It gives me that experience that I have with my laptops, my Mac laptops. Again, I wanted to use what I had. I had a Nikon DSLR camera, a D700. I highlighted that in the carousel. And a 14mm lens. That's what I'm using. That's in the teleprompter. A Nikon D700 with a 14mm lens. And of course, I had to use a capture card. A capture card to be able to transmit the image from the camera to the Mac. And that camera is sitting in the teleprompter. Second camera is a webcam. And that's what I'm going to show you now. I'm going to switch cameras And the first thing you're going to see is the camera looking at the sewing machine, turned toward the sewing machine. But then I'm going to rotate it so you can see the whole room. And now I'm going to give you a tour around the room. Turn this so that you can see. This is the monitor right by my sewing machine. And now you can see the light. This is the light that is closest to me. That's the Neewer light. And below that is the monitor. Portable, good size, doesn't take up a lot of space. I like this portable monitor, and it's HDMI, it's 1080, good quality monitor. And I can do my demonstration and I can make sure that what I am demonstrating can be seen, because I can monitor what you see, what my audience sees. This is the Glide Gear 100 teleprompter. You can see I have a monitor in it. It comes with this hood that goes over your camera. You can see my Nikon digital camera right here. And then you see it has this platform. This groove is where the screw is. You can position the camera at various distances depending upon what lens you have. So I like that versatility. And I have it on a microphone stand. I don't know if you can see that. It's just below, right here is a microphone stand. And then I have it taped in position so it doesn't shift right here. This is the Lilliput right here. And I'm using it, I'll pull it out just a little bit here so that you can see. I use it partially as a confidence monitor. There's just a little part of the screen that you can see here. This is what I look at when I'm talking to you. This is right in front of the lens. I position that image of what you see right in front of where the lens is positioned in the teleprompter. That way I know I'm always looking into the lens. And this section of the Glide Gear, this allows you to adjust for the size monitor you have. You saw the teleprompter, the Glide Gear, and this folding table, it had to be a little bit higher, so I had to make a little adjustments. I got some PVC tubing and I put it on each of the legs just to make it high enough to go above the original table. So this table right now is working. I need to temporarily remove this table. It's easier to do because it's a folding table. If it was a more permanent table, it would be challenging. And so that's why I've hesitated to upgrade. So let's get back to the tour. And so that's the teleprompter that I was just looking into while I was talking to you. Here we go. I'm gonna rotate this around. So here's that 4-foot table. You can see more of it. What you're seeing now is my man photo arm. There goes my chair that I took out of my kitchen. Remember, using what I have. And I'm going to tilt this up just a little bit so you can see my over the table rig that I use for overhead shots. This is my cell phone that I'm using. It's an older cell phone. It is an iPhone 7 Plus that I got refurbished just for a couple of $100. It's tack sharp. I love it. This is part of the Man Photo arm set that I showed you earlier. I use this same set when I'm doing overhead photography or video, or I'm recording a video at my sewing machine. So here's the rear of the arm. And now I have this nice long 10-foot cord that connects directly to my computer, so that I have instant ability to switch from one camera view to the other. And when you get a cable, if you need to do a long cable, make sure it's a cable that is able to transmit data. Not just power, it has to do both. Remember, I don't want to use batteries. Batteries run out. I want to be directly connected to consistent AC power. So this is not only for power, but it's also for data. So that's how I'm able to transmit the image. Let me go to the overhead shot so you can see how clean it is. I can do my demos, and this is all with my cell phone. And what I love about it is that I can do this and it focuses in, no problem. As I'm teaching and doing live streams, I want to be able to change out the quilt. You can now see what it looks like above and behind me. Closet brackets, that's what I'm using to hold up the quilt. It has a little dust cover. That white portion is a dust cover over the quilt. Behind the quilt is my clothing closet. The brackets are also holding my background lights. And I have a couple of gobos so I don't get too much spill of the colored lights onto me. Regular closet bracket that you use to hang a shelf. You can install the bracket in the ceiling like you see here in this photo, or you can install the bracket on the wall, ceiling or the wall. So, and I've done both. So the brackets are separated the right distance, and I use a rod to hold the quilt. So I can change out this quilt behind me whenever I want. It creates a clean background or an illustration for whatever it is I'm teaching. So let me go back to the live studio camera. I have yellow on the quilt, and then where it says blessed and by my sewing machine, I have a blue light. So that's what I'm using. And I'm going to change those so that you can see the different things that you can do. I'm going to change it to number 1. That's the number 1 setting. And you get 2 of these remotes, but you can change them individually. Now I just changed it to number 2. And then number 3, I have to point it. Now I can go back and say, okay, I don't like that blue light. I'm switching it to red. I just touched red. I can change it back to blue. You can increase the light sensitivity, or you can decrease it. Increase and decrease. So now the lights are flashing, and all I did was press this button right here, flash, and the lights flash. May not want that. I can do a fade. I'm going to press the fade button. And so that's this one down here at the bottom. Let's see if I can do that. So this is the fade button. So now the lights are fading in and out. Can you see how it's changing? Fading in and out. That's a preset. Oh, I need to show you the rest of the room. It's a sit-down long arm. It's a big machine specifically for quilting big quilts. So it has a lot of space. All this space is what I want when I'm quilting large quilts. And I use this light. I use this light for both the machine, but also to light the background where you see the word blessed. And if I'm doing some kind of overhead demo, I will turn this light so that now it touches the table right here. You can see how close it is. Here's my overhead camera I use with my cell phone. You can see how close it is to this sewing machine table. And there is my overhead camera position. That's where you saw me show the remote. And I will turn that light to the direction where if I'm sewing, I turn it this way. If I'm doing a demo, I will turn it this way so I get more light here on my table. Functions. This lamp has 3 functions. It will help me with my demo table. I'll use it when I'm quilting over here. But then I also will turn it and I will use it at my cutting table. So here's my cutting table. This is my cutting table where I can cut my fabric and work on different projects. But remember, I also said that I have one of those wall mounts over my cutting table. I can take this arm, which is a wall mount, photography wall mount arm. I can extend this, and then I would attach the man photo arm so that I can do overhead photography right here. I can do videos, still photos right above my cutting table. You can see now I'm going to do a pan of the room. This is the main spot where I sit, and I have my overhead camera with my cell phone. Right now I'm using the Logitech camera so that you can get a view of my studio. Here's my teleprompter again. And then over here is my sewing machine and light. Let me rotate it. On this side of the room, this is now my storage containers for all my supplies. And now we're back at my cutting table. First, remember, I started off by talking about the computer that I'm using for streaming, and that is the Mac Mini M1. I want to show you how all of these things are connected. Remember, I have 3 cameras working. I have the Logitech, I have my cell phone camera for my overhead shots, and then I have my main camera here that I'm looking into. So that's 3 cameras that are working tonight. How do I have that all connected? Then I have 3 monitors all working from this one computer. That's why the computer is so important. 3 monitors, 3 cameras, and live streaming with good internet. That's the power connection. Right next to that is the internet. I'm also connecting my widescreen monitor via HDMI. My microphone is connected directly to the M1 Mini. It's that last one at the end. And next to that is the monitor for the teleprompter. Then I have connected to my desktop ViewSonic big widescreen monitor. So I have 2 monitors connected directly into the M1 Mini. And then I have 2 peripherals that have secondary connections. One is the CalDigit TS. The second peripheral that helps me connect all the monitors, I want to show that to you. It's called a Wavelink. This is the Wavelink. Now the M1 Mini is supposed to technically only allow you to connect 2 monitors. If you want to connect more than 2, you need a Wavelink. This is how I'm able to connect that portable monitor that I mentioned. Another important thing, now that you have all this electronics connected by power, you want to make sure that you protect your equipment. And so the lights, the computer, the camera, all of those are connected into UPSs with battery backup and surge protection. I thought, have I considered changing how I'm protecting all this electronics, microphones, computers, teleprompters, cameras? Even my camera, it has a dummy battery. I don't use batteries. It's connected to AC power. And I want them all protected with surge protection. Specifically for my computers, my camera, my monitor, my wavelength, it had to be robust to protect all of that. And I got the Cyber Power. So this is the Cyber Power 1500. And it has a display. You turn on the power and then you can select what you want to see. Right now it's 100% of battery charge. Now I can see how many hours. It's going to give me 133 minutes with that full battery charge. Then it tells you the voltage. What is the input? What is my electric company inputting? And it gives you the hertz. The hertz is 65. That's the input. And then the voltage, 122. It tells you everything just at the push of a button. It tells you the input as well as the output. And I was hesitant. I thought, oh, another couple of $100. But then I thought, wait a minute. I need that to protect my investment. I've already made an investment and I want to protect it. So I got this. And I'm so glad I did. It's peace of mind. I didn't show you the Stream Deck. I don't know how I lived without it. All right, so this is the Stream Deck. You see, it looks like a keyboard. You know how you can have multiple function keys at the top of your keyboard? This is kind of like that, but you can program each one of these keys to do a specific thing. And for live streaming, I'm able to program them to go to different cameras, to go to different scenes. So right now I'm live on Amazon and these keys function based on what I want to show you. So let me click on a button and it goes to overhead camera. That's what I did. I just clicked on a button and it goes to overhead camera. And you can name them anything you want. I have host view on here. I'm going to hit host view and it comes back to me. So easy. And I thought, why did I wait so long to get this Stream Deck? I love it. I had to up my game. I was recording a lot of videos, but I needed to live stream. And so how do I take my recording equipment and utilize it for live streaming? And this is what it looks like now. You can see the Stream Deck. Let me hide this for a moment. There's the Stream Deck. And let me do this too. You can see all the different elements that I now put in. And I have to say that if you're just starting, I recommend just little by little. Start with a good computer. One that's capable of live streaming, that has a lot of RAM and good power behind it. And then I had to increase my internet upload. I paid extra for that so that I would not stutter when I'm live streaming, that it wouldn't have a problem having good live streaming. And then add things one by one, little by little. I didn't start out with the teleprompter. It was fun to be able to show you my space. You got a peek at what you never see. I've shown a little bit of it in photos, but this is the first time ever. that you have seen this small space. And you're probably wondering the size. I don't remember the exact size of the room, but it's about 10 feet by 13 feet. That's a small space. It's not big. I have every inch of it used and then some.